Hello, everyone. Welcome to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast show for the Boss Rush Network. You know who I am. It's LeRon Dawkins, the host here. And tonight, it's just me and Corey. Stephanie has the night off.
It is a sausage party in here. I don't know why I felt the urge to say that tonight.
Well, you saw it for the first time ever. I was at a loss for words.
It's true.
Like
Who knew my words about sausage would make LeRon speechless?
I mean, I do love a good sausage, but wow, I wasn't ready. If Stephanie was here, she definitely would have had "That's What She Said" for that one.
Yep, and she would, yeah, man.
What's up, man? How's it going?
It's going. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. But
Black Shirt Mafia tonight. I see.
I wanted to be like you, LeRon, but
yeah. I'm being like you. I have sleeves on tonight.
It's true. We
I have
match.
sleeves.
We're
when I have a V collar.
We're basically brothers.
Right? Don't let your mom hear that. She might lose her mind.
You still do that show with that black guy? Yeah, Mom. I do.
Yeah, we need more shows with more black guys on Boss Rush. just completely confuse your mom.
Well, let's see. No, the kicker is like gay or bi, like because it's Pride Month. I'll get you. I'll get Ed. I'll get Cammy Jace. We'll throw Grayson in there. She just won't know what to do. Be hilarious.
Speaking of, I believe the Pride panel is coming up this weekend for me. Ed, Grayson's on there. I believe Kami Jace will be on there too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I'm happy that we're starting to do panels again. It's it's a big deal. Plus a lot of good people on that panel as well, not just
like this will be my third one actually. Yeah, because I was actually on a Pride panel before. I was actually officially a bossy, or what do we call ourselves? Are we bossies? Are we rushers?
I don't know. Somebody help us out.
Somebody give us a nickname.
No, because the bossies are our game of the year awards.
That's our award. That's our award thing. So we're the rushers.
Which we got to capitalize on that this year.
We got the rushers, man. Get jerseys, have rushers on the back. Oh man, that'd be cool as shit.
Yeah.
We need to patent that shit right now.
I don't know if we could trademark the word rusher. That seems I feel like a lot of sports use that term anyway.
Or we might run afoul of some homegrown patriots here. You're a rusher, huh? Huh? Hey, how do you feel about that Ukraine thing?
Yeah, I'm white all the time, America. Sometimes I'm really embarrassed to be white. I gotta tell you, sometimes
I'm sorry for you, man. I'm sorry.
I come out here every day. I just, I go outside sometimes so I don't look extremely pale.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I'm sometimes I'm just embarrassed of my race. I apologize to everybody out there who's not white and has been harassed by the people.
Well, the good news is like a lot of us have the common sense to know it's not all white people. Just like we hope that other races know it's not all black people and not all Asian and Hispanic people. But I don't know. Then again, sometimes we can't always give other human beings the benefit of the doubt like that.
Yeah, sometimes when you do that, that's when they'll get you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So man, how's the week been treating you so far? It's our favorite night of the week, which is Wednesday night.
I know, and I've been working a lot because of the company I work for, we do events and stuff, and this week is the Cisco Live event, so I've been busy managing some of the stuff from home base, and it's been busy because time difference. I'm on the East Coast, the event's on the West Coast, and it just happens sometimes that you work a little over, and it's I went straight from work yesterday to doing a podcast with Ed, and then today I came home. I ate dinner, gave my kids a bath, and came straight to do the podcasts. It's just like the
Uh,
last 2 days just haven't stopped. But I'm not complaining. It's been busy, and
yeah.
I also have been working on the redesign project, which has taken up a lot of time because once I start something, I won't stop doing it until it's finished because I hate when things are unfinished. So that's also a terrible trait, I guess. I
I
can't just.
swear, you and I have so much in common because, like, I can't stand. I'm a procrastinator, but at the same time, I can't stand leaving tasks unfinished. So I procrastinate, don't get the task done, and I get pissed because the tasks aren't done.
Yeah, yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I've done most of the shows already. I still have to do After Dark 1v1, which I can probably just get away with altering the stuff for 1v1 and talk the walk a little bit. I
Mhm.
don't think that needs much work. Uh, and then, yeah, I think I will finally be done. And then, we're kind of talking about altering some of the content, which is going to be an interesting discussion. I have a 6-page doc that's not finished waiting for everybody. Spoilers. It's a big one. But yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks for me at least. But how are you, LeRon? How's life treating you?
Life's treating me pretty well so far. Like I'm noticed I, I'm getting a little tired, but it's just normal fatigue. But it seems like I'm starting to notice it now and stuff like that. But it's nothing in particular that's making me tired. So like I'm not sure. I think it's probably just that like how like at least once or twice a year you get run down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's happening to me because like I swear there are days when it's just like I need to take a nap.
Yeah.
I need to take a nap. And it's wild. And I know for sure now that I'm I know for sure one of the reasons why is because like I don't eat like a normal person. Like a normal person usually eats 3 times a day usually.
Mm-hmm.
And I tracked myself. Like I actually had to force myself to eat yesterday, so that was 2 times yesterday, and I've only eaten once today. And I know like having food in your system, fuel in your body, contributes to how fatigued and run down you get during the day and stuff like that. So like I got to make a plan, and also got to hydrate more. I got to drink more water and all that stuff. So somehow, like my nutrition plan just got derailed,
Right.
and that's a contributing factor for that. But yeah, I swear, even if I feel like I don't know, like if I like ramp up my eating, I feel like having a belly full all the time is gonna also make me tired.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to. The thing is about eating and stuff is like I don't know. Like I know what to eat. Like I will know what to eat for breakfast. I will know what to eat for dinner. It's the lunch area that's always like, what do I do? Like
Mhm.
what do I do? I can't just have a salad every day for lunch. That's not enough food.
But yeah, it's not enough food, and also if you do that all the time, like you're definitely gonna get bored of that shit and do something crazy.
Yeah. And so that's like where I'm at right now. I wish I had a better lunch option for something, you know? And I can't figure it out. I just can't figure it out. And I don't like it. I don't like it. What do you eat for lunch, Laurent? What did you have for lunch today?
Uh, I oh, that's the other thing. Like I also have like this bad memory thing where like I forget what I eat.
That's fair.
Actually, I had instant ramen today, but not some cheap ass ramen. Not the shit you buy at like fucking Walmart or some shit. Like it's like I actually like I we have this like this giant ass like case of like freaking like the ramen from the freaking like Asian markets and all that stuff. So what I do is like if I'm really hungry, like I at least boil 2 packs, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I also doctor it up. So like usually like like there's some type of meats going into it, like usually if there's some shaved beef, like some of that goes in there. I also parboil a couple of eggs and all that stuff. And then I throw a bunch of different veggies and stuff in there. So like I get the ramen experience without actually going to a ramen bar. Um, and that's what I had today. Like it was my ramen experience. The only protein I had this time though was just the parboiled eggs and stuff like that. But loaded with veggies and stuff, and and the key to here's something for you guys out there. Like it doesn't matter if you're buying like the instant ramen from the Americanized ramen, or if you're just going to like the Asian groceries and getting all that stuff. Here's the key to like making like really good ramen if it's out straight out of a pack. Boil your water first. Drop your noodles in the water, and as soon as the noodles start to like separate, like take a fork and like separate them some more and let them boil for an additional minute. And then, if you're smart, you have already like taken your sauce packet and stuff and put it in a bowl and use some of the boiling water already and stuff like that. So when your noodles come out, like scoop your noodles out into the bowl, like swish them around to get the sauce the sauce stuff like integrated into the noodles, and add a little bit more water in it, and let it sit for another minute or two. That finished cooks the noodles, and if you're like me, like you like firm noodles, but you also want them like chewy, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. That's the trick. Because a lot of people they overcook their noodles and then they wind up getting that soupy mush,
Mm-hmm.
and that's some bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's like Easy Mac when you put a little bit of water in, like you don't fill it up to the line.
Exactly.
You know, it's gross. I like how I just compared Easy Mac to ramen, but
Well,
it's
I mean, if
similar,
you're
I guess.
if you're going out buying like Top Ramen or Smack Ramen or Maruchan Ramen and stuff like that, like yeah, like you can easily fuck it up because like American ramen is some bullshit.
Yeah.
And I also know that American ramen is probably a staple of everyone's diet, depending on how their budget is, and towards the end of the month and stuff like that. I'm not being a snob about it, like because but at the same time I'm kind of bougie. I will go out and spend like $12 for a case of ramen.
I like that bougie ramen, that fancy ramen.
Yeah, but that was my lunch, and then for dinner I actually had for I pan seared some pompano with some fish and stuff like that, and just had with better rice and some veggies. And the cool thing is it fills me up, but it's also like eating Chinese food. Like I was hungry like an hour later,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess that means my metabolism is doing something right because like you're supposed to eat, be satisfied, and then be hungry all over again in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So I guess I ate clean enough today for it.
Hmm. What did I eat for lunch? I had a salad for lunch, but I also so at work there's like a snack room where like they just put a bunch of snacks in there, and I am terrible at avoiding that room. Especially because they put flamin' hot Funyuns in there.
Is that a vice of yours?
I what
The
flamin'?
flaming hot Funyuns?
They weren't until I had them for the first time today, and then I'm like, I
I've
just
never
want
had flaming hot Funyuns. I've never had them. I
I
see them.
I ate them today, and let me tell you, they were very delicious, and I
Uh-huh.
was not expecting how good for them to be that good, and they were amazing. And now I just have to avoid the snack room forever because I will eat them all, and I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm
I just
already
hear
I'm already fat as it is. I can't.
I just listened to you talk about the freaking snack room the snack room, the swag room at your place, and I was like, damn, I need to come work for there. Can I move to Ohio and live with you
Sure.
and just get a job at your at your place?
Yeah. Please. It's fun. I
I'm not
like
as
it.
I'm not as I'm not as smart and talented as you, so I gotta be able to get the same job that you have. But then again, I feel like your job is like a one person job. Like your job only has the one listing for what you do, don't they?
Uh, well, there's the content side of our like the it's weird because there's like the event side and there's a video editor for the event side, and then there's a content side, which is kind of where I'm at, which is like our podcasts and our videos and our our video series and stuff. So I mean, technically there's two, but we also already have an event guy, so sorry, you wouldn't be editing video.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good because I feel like I'm woefully behind the gun, as far as my editing duties go over here at Boss Rush.
But it would be cool though, because like if you came and worked where I work, would be super fun.
Okay.
There's a desk open in my office because, I don't know. I'm the only one in my office right now, so.
Oh, we can only dream.
I love my job, dude. It's so much fun. And I love all the people there. It's so great. And I'm not just saying that because I know people at work listen to our show. I'm saying that because I legitimately really love my job. So
I wonder how enthusiastic my boyfriend would be if I say, "Hey, I got a job in Ohio."
I mean, we could carpool. It'd be so much fun.
He works for a university out here, so I don't. I'm not even gonna fuck with him and say something like that.
I feel like when I was pitching Celeste to move up here and work there when she was looking for something new, I was like, because her boyfriend works for a university too. I'm like, there's colleges up here. There's a ton of them.
I could just see like my boyfriend's eyebrow twitching and that forehead vein popping out. I could just see it.
Yeah.
Especially because he's on tenure track,
Oh,
so
yeah.
like, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, you've been together, what, a little over a year? It's time. It's time to move on.
Yep.
Just tell him you're gonna go moving with your white fluffer and his wife,
Yeah.
his kids.
Oh man.
There's a desk back there you could probably use.
I guess moving in with you would be the only way I can guarantee you play Monster Hunter.
It's also probably true.
Oh man. Oh crap. Before we get too deep down this rabbit hole, let's shout out to our patrons tonight.
Yeah. So if you want to support this show as well as our other shows on the Boss Rush Network, you can head over to Patreon, patreon.com/Boss Rush Network, where for $1 you get Standard Def and After Dark 2 weeks early, or the Boss Rush podcast and Expansion Pass 1 week early for just $1. Just $1, guys. That's 4 quarters. You probably have that in your couch somewhere. Just send them on over. But if you want to be a Patreon producer, you can subscribe to our $5 tier. What does that get you? Well, it gets you those shows early, as well as a shout out on this here program, as well as our other ones. So without further ado, our Patreon producers for this episode of After Dark are Quentin Jackson, Rebecca Jewell, Adriel Munger, and my wife, Sana Dierig. I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. And I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content is free. We just give you some perks on Patreon. If you do listen on iTunes or Spotify, please leave us a 5-star rating or review. It really helps us out. Really helps us grow. And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. Back to you, LeRon.
Cool. Thanks. And thanks to all of our patrons and all of our wonderful people that are part of the community and come back and listen to us or check us out every week and stuff like that. We do it for you guys. Well, we do it. We also do it because like we're nerds and we're lonely and we like to do this anyway.
We're lonely nerds. LeRon's boyfriend's off doing doctor things and my wife is sleeping with my children. So
yeah, exactly. Dude. Man, like I don't know, like it feels kind of different without Stephanie here.
It does. It's strange. It's strange new territory, LeRon.
It's like two dudes sitting in a room like, what do you want to do?
You wanna You want to punch each other or something?
Oh
No, LeRon, I wanted to bring a topic tonight because it is Pride Month. Uh, I brought it up to you before the show because I like sometimes I don't know if it's like rude or inconsiderate or whatever, but like I just wanted to ask you
my
like
God, you're about to ask from the top or bottom, aren't you?
no, I'm not that interested. You strike me as a versatile man.
Oh, thank you. Good call. Good call.
Uh, no, I wanted to ask like
See, this is how
when
you, this is how you, this is how you know somebody's an ally. If they know top, bottom, and verse, this is how you know.
I try hard sometimes. Uh,
Don't try too hard.
uh,
Okay, what is it? I'm sorry.
no,
I'm making light of the moment. I'm sorry.
no, but a lot of people know that you are bisexual, and I just how when did you know, and like what, because we've talked a little bit about it, but we've never really like actually talked about it, and I thought it would be interesting to like hear your story because like from first glance, like you don't strike me as like a gay or a bi person, right? Like you just,
A person that lives the alternative lifestyle.
yeah, you don't, I mean, you don't look that way. You don't, you know,
Mhm.
talk in a way that people would think that, right? Like you just, you're very unassuming in
Yeah.
that way, and I just wanted to know, like, not that like a gay or a bi person has to look a certain way or act a certain way, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you
The
can,
stereotypes are there for a reason.
yeah. And
Yeah.
sometimes you can just straight up tell.
You're right. Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, just
Okay.
curious.
Well, my whole bisexuality thing. I feel like that was something like figuring out if you're bisexual versus being just 100% straight or 100% gay. I feel like that's the longer journey that people have to take. Because little backstory about me, like I knew something was different about me like when I was younger. It wasn't like I was leering at dudes in the locker room and stuff like that, but at the same time it was more like, like I kind of had like the same fixation I had with women, I also had that fixation with men, stuff like that, so being young and dealing with that, it's already confusing and stuff like that. And like yeah, like there is this trope that bisexual people are confused and whatnot. Yeah, well, the confusion lies in like like we grow up and as we're growing up, we're taught that there's only one lane you're supposed to be in, and anything else is like different or wrong, and stuff like that. So yeah, uh, but but basically so like I had girlfriends all through school and growing up and stuff like like I don't even think like I had any real encounters with like my own sex, you know until after I got into high school. After I got out of high school, not into high school. I wasn't that wild when I was young. Yeah, after high school, and the joke's gonna write itself. I joined the military. I joined the Navy right out of high school and stuff like that. So the joke already writes itself and things like that. As far as that goes. But actually, so yeah, so once I did get into once I got out of my parents' house, let's put it this way, because I feel like no matter what I'd done, if I got into college or just got out into the world and just started, working, or joined the military or whatnot, I figured I probably would have started experimenting anyway, just to figure things out, see what's going on. But yeah, so while I was in the military, that's when I learned that, like, yeah, like I am sexually attracted to men, but at the same time, I'm still sexually attracted to women. It wasn't this. And you hear this a lot we hear this a lot with people when they're trying to figure their sexuality out and stuff like that. You'll hear people say, "Oh, I'm bisexual, but I gravitate more towards X or X or Y, men or women, and whatnot, and things like that." But yeah, like I found out that like it was an equal thing for me, for the most part, and then it took a lot more time from that to like really dig in and say, okay, I really am bisexual, because like yes, I am sexually attracted to both men and women. I do I do tend to gravitate more like on a romantic side, towards men. And I know why. It's kind of because like women are fucking mysterious to me. But you know what? At the same time, I think every man on the planet can say women are mysterious to them. But like I feel like I've all the relationships I've had with women and stuff like that, like it's always felt like a guessing game for me, like and I'm not just talking about like the typical stuff that are stereotypical for women, like like mood swings, like it's that time of the month, stuff like that. Like I've just never been able to understand like like when women have irrational arguments. I've just never been able to get that, And it's one of these things, like I'm 47 years old now, and it still blows my mind, and stuff like that, which is funny because like I am much more sexually attracted to tomboys, like women who think more like men,
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but yeah, um, but yeah, so it took me a long while to get to the realization that I am truly bisexual. Um, you know, yeah, like the body parts work whether you're a man or a woman, as far as I'm concerned. It's not one of these things where, like I've never been able to perform, I've never been unable to perform, like with a woman, once I realized that I am,
Mm-hmm.
not straight,
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so it's been a journey. It's been a journey, and it's crazy because like it's I don't think I've ever really 100% hooked up like with another male that identifies as bisexual. Like almost all my gay encounters have been with other gay men, and like I'm my boyfriend right now, he's gay. Like I'm not sure if he's like the gold star gay, which basically means he's never been with a woman before. I think he is, but I've never probed him, enough to ask, to find out if he's ever been with a girl or not and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He seems very confident in his sexuality and stuff, so I think he's never been with a woman, but I can't speak for him. But it seems like every man I've been in a relationship with, they've always identified as gay. Like there's never been the opportunity like, hey, like she looks pretty cool. Should we do something?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing like that,
Right.
But yeah, it was a long, confusing journey for me, basically. And I'm definitely more like affirmed in my sexuality, now. Like yeah, so like boys and girls, they still get it. Oh, men and women. I'm sorry, boys and girls, like that. It's not that type of podcast.
No. No. Nope.
Not that type of podcast. So do not misquote me.
18 plus here, everybody.
Exactly. That's another thing too. Like I put it like this. I put it like this, like, because I'm at an age now to where like I will catch a charge real fast, for something underage. So it's one of those things where it's like you got to be old enough to walk into a bar and be able to buy your own drink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what gender you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I was just curious because, like, sometimes you think and then it just doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, we
Yeah,
talked about it before on the show where, like, I've had that thought where, like, am I, like, I think every straight guy has that question is like, well, am I attracted to them?
mhm,
Because like, you notice
yeah,
people at the gym or in the locker room or whatever, but like it's not necessarily like a sexual attraction or something. You just like, oh, that guy's ripped, and I'm just some flabby guy sitting over here trying to like hide.
exactly,
you know,
yeah.
uh,
Which I guess it makes it weird. We're in this weird ass society where like you can't even like admire, like, for example,
hmm
like, yeah, like, if you're out of shape and you're in the locker room and stuff, like someone's like super jacked with like 4% body fat, like you're not supposed to look at them because like, like everyone gets the wrong impression and stuff like that. And it's weird too because like I remember like one of the women I was in a relationship with and stuff like that. Also, that's the other thing too. I think I told you and Stephanie before this on on one of the previous shows. Like, it takes a lot for me to admit to a woman that I'm bisexual because women seem to automatically have this stigma, or they put this barrier up, that
hmm
the man that they're with, they have to be straight and stuff like that. Like
yeah,
they're
that was gonna be my next question. I know you touched on it a little bit at some point,
Yeah.
but like, have you ever like told like say you're like attracted to a woman and you went out with her or whatever, and like you told her that you were bisexual and that instantly ended things?
Yes, it has, and for the longest time, it kept me from being like transparent with women. I'm definitely different than that now because like I pretty much let women know up front, like hey,
Mm-hmm.
hey, like I don't just sleep with women, I also sleep with men, and like that stuff works on both sides of the street, stuff like that, because like I used to get tired of being rejected from women, because like, I wasn't 100% straight and stuff like that. But it
Mm-hmm.
got to a point where it was like, you know what? Like not telling them up front and eventually finding out, like it makes it worse. And, I was like, like it pisses me off that, like it has to be this way, like women aren't as considerate. And it's funny because like I ran across a TikTok, that a woman talked about like what women's real problems are with bisexual men and stuff like that. And it was actually an eye opener. And I actually shared it with a couple of my female friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you know what? She's speaking the truth because like when you think about it, I'll share with you guys the TikTok, but because I can't remember exactly everything she said, and I now terribly paraphrase it if I try to talk about it right now, but she talks about a lot. She basically ran down like a checklist of why women think this way and why it's not that way, stuff like that. Now it was an eye opener for me because I was like, you know what, if I ran across more women like this, I probably would be a lot more easier, with trying to like approach women more, because like then it wouldn't be the hang up about the sexuality. Then it could be just the regular hang up of am I too ugly? Do I not make enough money and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that? Is the car not good enough? And
Right.
Um, yeah, but yeah, like stuff like that used to stress me out. And, like and normally it's it normally be a lot easier to just hook up with a guy,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, I'm gonna be for 100% real. Like guys like sex, and
No.
most guys will try to get it where they can. If their boundaries are flexible enough and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, and most men like like there's actually surveys and stuff that come out and shit. Like you can go on Reddit now and you can actually find threads of where guys identify as straight, but
Mm-hmm.
they admit that they've done things with other men and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
some of them are like, yeah, some of it was experimentation, but some of it was like I do it, I like it, but I still call myself straight
But
and stuff like that. Like men are just as weird and complicated as women are.
mm,
We have our own weird ways about it.
yeah.
But yeah, the hardest struggle for me was like, being able to identify, being able to put myself out there to women, with my sexuality, because like it always seems like, and I've been told some really horrible stuff by women once they find out, like I'm bisexual and stuff, and it doesn't matter if I'm upfront or it doesn't matter if it comes out, after a few months and stuff like that.
Right.
I've heard stuff like like I'm going to be the reason why they catch a disease, or like it's and, it's really toxic shit. It just basically turns you off from wanting to associate with them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I it's funny. My dad my dad always used to joke like this is gonna sound really sexist and I'm sorry, but he's like, women are the reason why men started dating other men.
I believe it. I really believe it. But the one thing I will say, and I guess I can appreciate this being a bisexual man, like like women keep men in check. Let's just put it this way, because like I said, like guys will fuck anything anywhere. And so like if a guy gets horny enough, like rational thought goes out the window, and he'll be like, hey, let's do it over here, and over here is literally on a park bench out in public, stuff
Right.
like that. And women are like, hell the fuck no, like chill the fuck out.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's yeah. What's the
Hmm?
hmm, what was I gonna ask? I was gonna ask something. No, I forget. It like I was halfway through it and then I forgot what I was saying. Oh well. It's
It works. It works. It works all the same. A hole's a hole, dude.
a hole is a hole.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Now I'm just being crass.
I mean, you're not wrong, I guess. Some are looser than others. I'm guessing. Sometimes not in the way you want it to be, but that's okay.
This is after dark, so I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something, and man, like Stephanie's gonna listen to this later. It's like, what the hell did I miss?
It's all right. She won't hear it for a couple weeks. It's fine.
So okay. So you are true. You are right. Some holes are tighter than others, and some holes are wetter than others, and that's what kind of makes it fun.
Man, I have a story, but I don't know if I want to tell it on this on the show. It's too gross even for this show.
Okay. Well, we'll let it go then.
Nope. You know what? No.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It's out there anyway somewhere, I'm sure. But back in the day, I was kind of, I was at this party, and there's this girl there.
Was it a high school hornball, horn dog phase, or a college horn dog?
It was like
phase?
the summer in between my
Oh,
first
shit.
year of college, and
Okay.
so I went to this party, and this girl was like known for only letting people do, like.
Oh, in the butt.
So, being the horny teenager that I was at the time,
Mhm.
we were like messing around, and we started having some sexual fun, and like let's just say I found out it was in a hole that.
Oh, you found out you were in the wrong hole.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question: did she guide you there, or did you just accidentally wind up there?
It wasn't guided there. I felt really like I needed a shower like right away. Like, I gotta get this.
Wait. Was it messy? Is that what you're trying to say?
It was looser than it probably should have been.
Whoa.
That's a real story.
How much was she? Okay. See, here's the cool thing about me being bisexual and knowing my body. How much sex was she having? Because it's a muscle. It's supposed to put itself back
I
the way
know,
it was.
and I don't know if she like was
She's probably
prepping for that or.
no, even if you prep, it still has some of that tightness, but it has a little elasticity to it. I mean, what was she prepping herself with? Traffic cones?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I just don't know.
If it's that loose, if it's that loose that you're thinking that you were in the vagina, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean there was lube involved.
Mhm.
There was a little bit of drinking involved, so I don't remember like.
I'm sorry that experience was bad.
It was an awful experience.
It's crazy. It's crazy because like for straight dudes, like doing it in the butt is like the ultimate thing.
Yeah, I know. I that's what I thought at that point in time, and then the line was crossed, and then it was no longer the ultimate thing.
So you never just wanted to venture back there anymore.
No.
Back there, literally back there.
No more trips to Browntown. You know what I
Oh
mean?
man. Oh man. I'm sorry, man. Shoot.
That yeah.
I've done anal with women. It's fun. It's fun as long as everybody's prepared.
Yeah. I know.
And when I say prepared, there's levels to being prepared.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that I hadn't ventured back there since then. It just that turned me off for a while. You know.
Yeah.
So,
There's a show you should watch on Amazon Prime called Fleabag.
You know what? One of the girls at work told me I should watch that show.
I would recommend you. It's a short show too. Like it's like 6 half-hour episodes per season. It's 2 seasons. Like you can literally watch the whole thing in a week. Well, you have children, so I would say you can watch the whole thing in a weekend. But nah, you probably need a whole month just to get through it all.
Yeah,
It's hilarious though.
that's what I
Like
hear. I
it's
hear it's
hilarious, but
funny.
there is a thing about butt sex in
I
a
mean,
couple of the episodes.
it's not that that whole concept bothers me. It's just like that night
Well, that
is
experience, like yeah,
was an interesting one.
yeah.
So, hmm,
Yeah, but yeah, like
delicious.
yeah. So like yeah, I can definitely affirm them. Like I'm a solid bisexual. As a matter of fact, the older I get, the more I'm thinking I'm more pansexual. But we can talk about that another night.
So,
Hmm?
okay, educate me. So, there's all these new terms that have been coming up in the last, I would say, like 5 years that I've been noticing or paying
Hmm?
attention to, like
Well, I feel like they're new.
pansexual, asexual.
Okay, well, I feel like they're new to our common vocabulary. They've been around for a while.
No, that's what I mean. Like they're new to me, you know.
Uh, all right.
And look,
Pansexual.
I would ask the internet, but I would get yelled at because
Oh, well, yeah. Don't
it's
ask
the
the internet,
internet.
and don't go to Urban Dictionary. All right. Well, I can tell you, pansexual is basically okay because like as we get further along in society now, we've got transgender people now. And so we have trans women who are men who have transitioned to becoming a woman, and then we got trans men who are women who transition to becoming a man and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So pansexuality came into this. Okay, you remember back in the day, Eddie Murphy got caught in the back of a cab with a transsexual.
Yeah.
That basically because he knew what he was doing. That basically puts him in the pansexual category.
Mm.
So basically,
So it's like
it's
you're you're attracted to just all kinds of people.
yeah, basically, yeah. And the reason why I say like I'm probably skirting the boundary of pansexuality and stuff like that is because I've actually found myself attracted to like trans men and trans women and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And I'm not even sure. And there's days I wonder if like my alternative sexuality of being bisexual. I wonder if I was not just an affirmed bisexual person, I feel like the pansexuality would still be there.
Hmm.
Um, uh, it's it. I'm gonna trigger somebody out here that's listening to us tonight, but I've actually seen more trans men who look more masculine than an actual regular straight man, and it's crazy and stuff like that.
Hmm.
um, yeah, so and it's fascinating. It's interesting. I can definitely say like I'm attracted to it. So I definitely would not turn down an opportunity for it. I have not had an opportunity for it yet. But I wouldn't turn down an opportunity for it. So that's pansexuality. Basically it's outside the normal boundaries of the game bisexual stuff. Because now you don't have trans people and trans people, some trans people like they I'm sorry. They gender reassign, or they pick their gender, you know, but they remain straight. So like a trans woman, goes to becoming a man, and he is still. I almost got the pronouns mixed up, and he decides to be straight, which means he wants to be in a relationship with another woman and stuff like that. It's wild. It's crazy. I can write you a flow chart and figure things out. Like if anyone is listening out there has any feedback and stuff, just to make sure I don't get into trouble because I am part of the community, but I don't know everything about the community. Please let us know. But yeah, like it's interesting dynamic. Like yeah, like trans men, like being with regular cis women, and vice versa. Some transition and they still want to be with other guys.
Hmm. Yeah. I I just there's so many things to like keep track of, and not that it's like,
Oh, and asexual people, they're not really attracted to anybody. Like as a matter of
yeah,
fact, like sexual attraction for them is more an anomaly.
yeah. They I worked with two asexual people when I worked at the restaurant, and they were just like, they called each other partners, right? But they like weren't, they weren't like attracted to each other. They just like,
Yeah.
they were pretty much just like best friends that lived with each other, right? They weren't like
Hmm.
lesbians or anything. They were just like two women that were together but not together. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I just want to be, I
I
want to
think they
be,
also have I think they also have more sex with themselves, like they're as individuals than they do with anybody else.
yeah.
I believe like I've never really like sat down like paid attention to like asexuality.
Hmm.
Um
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I just, we talked about it a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the trans swimmer, right? Like, I just want to
Hmm.
be more educated on this stuff, and so
Oh
I
yeah.
don't like, a I I just want to be educated, but b, like, I
Mhm.
want to be educated so I can be a better supporter of the community. It's important, especially as we move forward and certain things are happening in politics and the world, and
Yeah.
it's just, it's better to be educated when you're trying to help someone. That way, when you fight, you can be knowledgeable about it, I guess.
Yeah. And there's the other thing too, like, like, well, I think I've said this to you before, but just so you know, like anytime you have questions like this, you can always find me and ask me the question and stuff like that. Because like, like that's the other kind of like minefield you have to like maneuver certain people. Like, like how do you know if it's an appropriate question to ask this person? Because like everybody has different experiences and stuff like that, like asking me about bisexuality or pansexuality, might not set me off the same way it might set the next person off because like
Hmm.
some people like some people they go to a dark place when they think about this stuff,
Yeah.
um and other people are like, no, ask me all day, like just like like if you ever I'm just saying this to you because like you're my white friend. If you ever need to know something about how like black people are and stuff like that, feel free to ask me. Like I'm probably not the best black person to ask, but feel free to ask me. Because like like I've been ridiculed by my own people. Because like like I've been called an Oreo. I've been called whitewashed. All this stuff. I do feel like I'm whitewashed, but it's also because like I don't do I share similar walks of life with other black people, but at the same time, I haven't walked every single path.
Hmm. Yeah. I I don't know. I mean, it took me so we kind of talked about this a little bit last week too, or a couple weeks ago, but like, I grew up in an all white community, and like, it took me a it took me a long time, and actually, like, I moved to Columbus. When I moved to Columbus is when I like had to teach myself not to be afraid of black people,
Oh wow!
like that. It was like a,
Like you afraid?
yeah, like they
Oh wow!
like, because like my one friend was mugged by a bunch of people who just happened to be black, right? Like, and we live in an area where like the rundown neighborhoods are full of non-white people, and like the richer areas are predominantly white people, and like that was always the impression that it gave off, right? And we were kind of taught to be afraid of black people, you know.
Man, I can't imagine it.
And like, when I moved to Columbus, and uh one of my roommates was black, like, it took me a little bit to get used to, like, when I graduated high school, we had one black person in our school,
Wow!
like one. And
Wow!
now, and it just took me a long time, and I I think, as a person, like, not that not that this should be something I'm proud of, but I feel like I've grown a lot in terms of like, I mean, that was like 20 years ago now at this point almost, but you know, when you grow up that way and you take steps to be more, you know, open-minded about things, you know, and the thing is like that shouldn't be something that you're open-minded about, you know. It should just
Yeah.
be, you know, I remember when I found out my one friend was gay and it was like the biggest deal in the world, you know, and it was
How old were you when you figured that out?
17.
Okay. That probably was a shock, given that you kind of grew up in white suburbia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it just I remember learning a lot on my own about people that were different than me, and that clearly it's not all bad, you know, it's not all terrible, you know. It's
Yeah.
just not. And I am glad that like I don't think that way anymore, because a lot of people in that town still think that way,
Jesus
you know.
Christ. It boggles my brain that people are actually taught, like, are taught to be afraid of, like, people that are they're opposite gender, a different skin color, like a different value or belief or whatnot. It's crazy that people, like,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
it was like a, unless like a woman was a teacher, if she was working, that was considered like weird where I grew up. Like all the men worked, the women took care of the kids.
damn, were y'all Amish?
Mennonite. I grew up in a
Mennonite.
I grew up in a Mennonite
I was
community.
thinking Luddites. I was thinking
Yeah.
Luddites, actually.
I mean, I grew up Baptist, but
Uh-huh.
the community I grew up in was
It
Mennonite.
was Mennonite. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know about it.
yeah.
I don't know why that didn't come to my mind first.
Also, like everybody in the community that was a Mennonite owned all the businesses, you know, so like the Mennonites really ran the community.
Damn.
You know, like the hardware store, like it was like this. Now that I think about it, it's almost like a little cult town. But I mean, it wasn't, but like the way it's set up, you would think I was talking about one. You know,
Yeah.
like if your last name was not Miller, Yoder, Slaybaugh, you know, that kind of name, like you weren't like, you know, you were kind of like on a level down from these people, you know, and not all of them were bad, but like that was just kind of like the hierarchy of the town, you know. And
Yeah.
also lived in a town where football was everything on Friday nights and church was everything on Sunday mornings.
I grew up in Texas. I know all about
Yep.
that.
Yep. So, yeah, essentially the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
What a weird town. So, anyways, that was my life growing up.
Yeah, man. It's wild. Just think about that, and just to know that's out there. Just like I think I remember telling you all back in February, like, like during Black History Month, about all the stuff that I didn't know about, with like a black culture in America and stuff like that. It's wild. It's wild on the other side to think that, like, yeah, like people are, had experiences growing up like you did, stuff like that, man. It's because, like, I grew up in military communities and stuff like that. Everybody of every skin color, and every type was there and stuff like that. So, it always felt like a foreign concept to me. And I even have friends, like black friends, they're like, man, like, like you are different because, like, I grew up, in like a very culturally diverse society and stuff, well, areas, not societies, areas. And so, yeah, so it's just, and but the one thing I don't do is I don't like like discredit, like, anybody's experience and stuff like that, because I would never devalue you because, like, like, if let's say you never grew out of that or whatnot, or you never learned something different, I would never devalue you. I just acknowledge that, like, he doesn't know,
Yeah, and I became friends with gay people, people that weren't white and everything, and like obviously now this is where we're at, and like turns out none of my friends are white or straight apparently. So No, I'm just kidding. Some of them are one or the other. But you know, it's just something that I've realized in my life that like everybody just goes through things, and there's certain things that are very hurtful to people, and certain things that aren't true, and certain things that uh you should just be more open to the idea, and you know that it I I am embarrassed that you know I grew up in a town and had friends that made gay jokes and black jokes, and you know it was not right, and you know it was it was how we grew up, you know.
Well, the one thing we have in common is I also grew up in a society where like it was easy, it was okay and easy. It was actually preferred that you make like gay jokes and like off color jokes and all this stuff. So yeah, we have that in common. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
now I know like I was just feeding into it, and I definitely picked up some toxic habits off of it. You know, like sometimes. Sometimes it's so easy for me to think about making the joke, and I was like, "Wait, why would I say some shit like that?"
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, also like I know the 90s and the 2000s, early 2000s were a different time, but like everything that we thought was stupid was gay, you know? Like
Yeah,
that's gay.
yep.
That's gay. You're gay. Oh, you know, like
The one
they
a toxic trait I have is when I'm playing online multiplayer games, and somebody's doing something that's just cheesing me the fuck off, and
mm,
I'm like this motherfucker's being gay as fuck right now.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like you know, you know, the sad part is like I'm being mad to the point where like I'm like calling this guy, like you know, calling this person, I'm like, you know, there's a man or a woman on the other end of the controller whipping my ass, whatnot. And I was sitting there like I'm like, man, like I'm calling them this shit, you know, just because I'm pissed, and I'm the one that's losing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there
I never have my mic on because like I'll fuck around and drop the f bomb, and I'm not talking about fuck. I'm talking about the other f
yeah.
word.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I've so that I mean that there are words that I have specifically cut out of my vocabulary because A, it's wrong, B, you know, it's something you shouldn't use in a derogatory way, right? Like
Yeah.
that F word is one of them, right? Gay
Mm.
is one of them. Uh the retarded is another one that I have
I have the
totally.
hard I have the hardest time because like you know, I was born in 1975.
Hmm.
Like that was a normal word, you
Oh,
know.
it was a normal word in the 90s. Like
Yeah.
it was totally normal, but like you know, I grew up with a friend who had a brother who has Down syndrome.
Mhm.
And
Oh, I would never call that person retarded, but
no,
you know,
I
like
didn't call him that, but like one time I said that word in front of him, and I realized that oh man, that's probably like super hurtful, you know.
yeah.
And so I worked, you know, sounds like I'm like training for the Olympics or something, but like I worked really hard to cut certain words out of my vocabulary, and like you know when things I said when I was 13 is definitely something I'm not going to say now, you know. Um so and then it's I still have, you know, God love my parents, but we make the joke all the time like my my mom still whispers, you know, and she's talking about the black people I do shows with, you know, and but like that's totally a real thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
uh and yeah, and she still like our we have family that, or not family, but we have family friends that live in Florida, and like oh their brother is gay, and he's a nice guy, like he's a really cool dude. He's a chef, and like he's a pastry chef at uh one of the resorts in Disney World, and like he's a really cool guy. I love all of them, but like when when my mom talks about his partner, she's like she still calls him his friend, right? Like his friend. But
Jeez.
but you can hear like she says it in a way where you could hear the air quotes coming out of her mouth,
Uh-huh.
and which is just like, oh my gosh, you can. It's okay, mom. He's gay. It's allowed. Man, it's it's been a real life turnaround, and I I I feel bad for the things that I used to say and do, but also like am happy that I am not did not continue down that path.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, anyways, gay all around. I don't know. Oh, just trying to break the ice or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Yeah, no, no, thanks for wanting to ask the questions though. I mean, like I said before, like I try to be an open book and I try to be
Mm-hmm.
transparent and stuff like that, like and I trust you as shit, like shit, at this point I practically love you, man. So it's one of
I'm
those
a
situations
lovable
where,
guy.
like, yeah, you are.
Uh, so what else do we want to hit on? Have
I
you?
don't know.
I
Huh?
mean, I guess we could go back to you, or we can end it. I don't know.
What, do you have another question for me?
I don't
I feel
know.
like we're legit having a 1v1 right now.
I mean, we kind of are a little bit an intimate session. Hmm.
Oh,
I'm not wearing
oh.
pants. Are you?
I still have my shorts on.
Yeah, I have shorts on too. Uh, man. Uh, I mean, I don't really have any specific questions.
Hmm.
Um,
I should ask that. How'd you know you were straight? But
I mean,
that's just being sarcastic.
I can tell you. I mean, we kind of already talked
Oh,
about it a little bit a couple weeks ago, but like, you kind of sit there and wonder, and then like, I was at a point where I was like, I'll just watch this gay porn and see if it does anything for me, and
I think that's a litmus test almost every straight guy puts themselves through.
yeah,
Like, watch gay porn, see what happens.
yeah, and I'm like,
You
I
know,
don't
it's
nothing's doing it for me, it's
it's weird because I don't know, like, oh, this is gonna sound so bad that I'm putting this out here on the internet and into the world. The idea of sex just turns me on. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who I'm watching. Yeah, I was about to say who or what, and now I was going to open up a whole new can of worms right there. It doesn't matter who I'm watching. Like the idea of sex just kind of turns me on and stuff like that. So a straight act, yeah. A lesbian act, yeah. A gay act, yes. A bisexual act, yes. A pansexual act, yes.
mm-hmm.
And I guess me running that off just sounds bad and fucking weird, but yeah, so
I mean,
I don't
it's
think
not weird. It's not weird though. I mean, it's just you. I mean, there's nothing weird about it. Like weird would be
Mhm.
if you were like watching kids try something for the first time, but that's like
Yeah, that yeah. Oh, you know what? That's definitely I definitely know for sure that's not me because like I get squeaked out watching episodes of SVU that go that direction.
oh god.
I get squeaked out. I know that's not me.
Yeah. No. Gross. Um you're not you're
Yeah.
not Subway Jared, you know what I mean?
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so I can't say for sure like if I was a straight person that like I feel like that test would get me in trouble. Like, watch the gay porn, see what
Yeah.
happens. Now that would get me in trouble because that'd be fascinated. I'd be like, "Oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is an idea."
Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of like gonna be honest. I'm just like the idea of a penis being involved just doesn't do anything for me in general. To be honest, unless it's mine, I guess. But uh, that's
You know,
if we're going down this road, I guess I might as well just talk
you
about it.
know. Oh, well, okay, well, yeah, well, that's the weird thing about it too. Like, I feel like there's an element of gayness in every like heterosexual like porn because like I'm gonna be honest with you like there is no way you're as a straight male your attention is 100% on the woman. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's usually not, but like it's not like I don't know what it is, man. I don't know how to explain
Oh,
it.
I wasn't saying it directly at you. I
No,
was
I
just
know.
saying because like okay when I was a kid like and would run across my dad's stash like
Hmm.
yeah like there was and like I said I was born in the 70s so like there was VHS and there was magazines and stuff like that and I'd wind up just looking all over the place like I'm looking at him I'm looking at her I'm looking
Hmm.
at everything so
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, even me when we were both growing up, like that stuff wasn't readily available like it is now, like everywhere,
uh,
you know.
yeah
Uh, so
that's why I honestly
you
feel like
got what you got, you know, and
yeah
if there just happened to be a dude and a woman in there, or just a woman or just a dude, sometimes you just kind of
yeah
just stared for a little bit.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, because for example, like I remember like finding my dad's stash of like magazines and stuff like that, and like most like okay, so Playboy magazine, like back in the day, Playboy magazine used to be just straight up nothing but women, and then something happened in like the mid '80s, and all of a sudden, it was women and men, but it was them having having intercourse with each other and stuff like that. So yeah, I would feel like oh I hit the bonus here because I was like there's two people in this one,
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and yeah, like porn mags back in the day, man, that was wild.
yeah,
Yeah,
magazines in general, but yeah,
I say that's wild, and like like you can do a literal Google search for apples and find porn in that
yeah,
search.
yeah. I I remember like all the gas stations had all their porn in like those plastic sleeves that were sealed at the top, and like you couldn't look at them, but like it was like the cover was always like some like the hottest person you've ever seen on the cover, you know?
Hmm.
Oh man, that was that was a different time.
Yeah, it was. Now, you know what? I feel I feel like kids have it way too easy now. Like, I mean, yeah, there's still a level of sneaking involved in looking at porn and stuff like that. But I think us as parents now, like, like I am not a parent, but that's another thing too. I always feel like I've always had a very I feel like I've always had like a very liberated like I ideal towards sex and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I'd be one of those parents like I wouldn't really freak out, if I caught my son or daughter watching porn, and I also probably wouldn't freak out that badly if I found out they were having sex and stuff like that.
I
I
mean,
feel like I feel
at this point, you know it's happening. I mean, you
oh yeah, true. Yeah.
think about us when we were like, you know, in early to late teens, right? Like,
Mhm.
yeah, of course, somebody's trying something, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I think the difference is though like I definitely wouldn't have the same visceral reaction that my parents would have had like had they found out or caught me or whatnot stuff like that. Like I'd be like oh shit okay well this is happening and and then I would have the conversation afterwards and stuff like that
Hmm.
because I also feel like like stuff we do to our kids as parents like that can condition or basically traumatize like our kids and this is how we wind up getting like adults that have a hard time functioning in society
Hmm.
because like there's like trauma or whatnot going on stuff like that and so yeah so I don't know how we got to this when we're talking about like literally kids finding our porn stash.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean it's hard now. Like, and even the best cyber nanny, kids can find a way around that shit. And it's
cyber
not,
nanny.
And it's not even the fact that kids are smart to outsmarted. Like there's always, I'm an IT guy. There's always gaps in that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, crazy times, man. Just look, I just think that the way that they're gonna find stuff is just gonna happen. You know, it doesn't matter. It's gonna happen. I mean, look, we used to pause movies, right? We used to pause VHS tapes when there was like, a half naked girl on there. Like,
Oh
I
my
mean,
God. Do you know how many times I paused the interrogation scene in Basic Instinct?
yeah, I mean that's most people, I think. Also, like, I don't know, man. There's just so many scenes that even if they didn't show anything, that were just like,
It was the most provocative shit we could
yeah,
have seen as like 12 or 13 years old.
yeah. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Bring It On came out at like the very right time for me as a young man. Just throwing it out there. Eliza
Oh,
Dushku.
there was white girls and black girls in that one, man. Woo, boy.
I know. I was multifaceted even back then. No, I'm just, man. Speaking of black girls, you should have. That's a story for a different day.
That's the other thing too. That's the other thing too. Like I've never had a hang up about like dating people exclusively in my race. Like as a matter of fact, I feel like interracial relationships are where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this could be a topic for another week because I have some stories about that, which I don't know. It's sad in one way, well,
Yeah.
a couple ways, but yeah. Look, I dated an Italian girl twice, I think, and that was like a lot for certain people.
Now that's interracial, but y'all both still Caucasian.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, I don't like, that was something else that I always wondered, like, why why are Italians treated like different white people? It's like, man,
You're married to a Ukrainian, so technically that's interracial, but because
I am.
because y'all's I guess land of descent, is completely different geographies.
You should have found out. You should have seen my mom when she found out my wife was Jewish. Boy, that was an interesting conversation.
And you know what? That's also a topic for another conversation. What the
Yep.
fuck is wrong? What the fuck is wrong with all the religious like creeds and all that stuff? Like, why are they?
Yeah. Well, we got a couple good topics for next time, though.
Yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you want to wrap up?
Shh.
Okay,
Always
not,
wrap up.
Not in that sense. Not.
Don't be a fool. Wrap your tool. Don't be a dummy. Come on her tummy.
Oh, okay, we're done here. We're done here. I haven't heard that one in forever. I used to be in the Navy, by the way. I can tell some good ones.
Oh man, I want to hear them.
That's a night. That's a night.
That should just be a new one of those every week. Should just be my new. Like when you introduce me, that should just be what I sign in with.
Oh God, group chat's gonna be fun tomorrow. Be like, Stephanie, your boy Corey.
Oh boy! By the way, for Stephanie, I downloaded one of those stupid games on Switch.
Which one?
I think it's called like Summer Days or something.
Summer Days.
Oh my God! I will talk about it on the next After Dark. But
okay.
like just a little hint of it. I played for like an hour, dude. It was like. I was like, okay, well, if this is one of those games I'm going to talk about on After Dark, I need to really get into it. And so I was like, okay, so it's clearly going to like tease you for a little bit, and then it's going to, whatever. No, dude, 15 minutes in, man, they were straight up just anime titties hanging out. Just
anime titties.
Just,
Wait. Like, I mean, we saw nipples or.
Yeah.
Wait, is this adults only? Is this an AO rating game?
I don't know. It was $5, and I said, this is going to be an After Dark topic. I kid you not, 15 minutes in, straight up, anime titties with some nips.
Wow.
And 20 minutes
Wow.
in, another girl between the legs of the first girl. And then I was like, someone's going to catch me playing this game. I should probably just turn this off and just...
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Topic for next week, though. Stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely. All right, then. What? I have nothing else to say except this has been Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast of the flagship show for the Boss Rush Network. Corey and I would like to thank you all for tuning in and listening to the show. We learn things about each other all the time, and you know what? That's why this show is so fun.
It's true.
All right, so as usual, here's how you can connect with and stay in touch with us. Corey, where can they find you?
You can find me at I am Corey and HC on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me hosting the Boss Rush podcast, Pal Block, Standard Def, plethora of other things here on the Boss Rush Network.
All right, and you can find me everywhere just by looking up Exodus 803, EXODUS 803. I'm not going to give the rundown. You guys already know it by now.
Yeah, you're already here.
Yeah.
If this is your first episode, welcome.
Yeah.
Hope you had a good time.
Go back to episode 1 and find out all about us.
Oh God.
or find out more stuff. I feel like we kind of laid it all out there tonight, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things to learn about us. That's for sure.
Yep. So have fun with it.
We've done things.
Yeah, for real. Not with each other yet. Not that kind of show yet.
Oh God.
All right, everyone. Please come back and join us again for our next installment of Boss Rush After Dark, where, if you're not aware of this, we are always here with more topics that aren't always content appropriate for our other anchor shows. We love you all. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.